Welcome to City of LaGrange, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Alton West. Today I will have guests on from Troup County Parks and Recreation and also from the West Georgia Health System. So stay tuned for those interviews in just a moment. Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have on two guests I think that need no introduction. These ladies have been on a numerous time with us for a very worthwhile call. My guests are today Wanda Lau, and also we have Lynn Howard. Lynn, Wanda, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us, Alton.
Well, it's always a pleasure to sit down with both of you ladies because you just bring so much energy and such vibrant to the stage here, and I'm just happy to sit down with you all. But before we get started talking about the program today, let's talk a little bit about each one of you in your respective places. Lynn, I know that you're out at the Parks and Recreation Supervisor there.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit for us.
Yes, I have been with the county, Troup County Parks and Recreation for many years. I started when I was very young,
Okay.
So I've been there quite a while.
Quite a while, okay.
Yeah, so I'm in the back. I do the bookkeeping. I keep everything rolling, keep everybody smooth and happy. Back there, Don Howell is our assistant director, and Todd Tentler is our director. So I try to keep them busy, so to speak.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you know, the Troup County Parks and Recreation is a big place. I'm sure a lot of people have been there. And you know, they always say behind the scenes there's always a good lady with the fingers on the pulse running things, right?
There you go.
There we
Glad
go.
you recognize that.
That's
We
right.
have to do
I
that
like
one.
it. Good.
Absolutely. And one that we want to talk with you a little bit. One that we know that you've been on the program before, and you are a cancer care navigator.
Right.
And talk about what that means.
Well, a navigator is obviously someone who helps get people through a tight spot, and I am a breast cancer survivor myself, and I've worked at West Georgia for a good number of years and have a background in educating people about health issues and resources. So I bring, to the job of the cancer care navigator a knowledge about, first-hand knowledge about going through cancer, and also some knowledge about what's available to help them in terms of resources and support whenever they're diagnosed with cancer. So I do a lot of work with trying to make sure people can get to their treatments, they understand what the treatment is going to entail, and answering any questions they may have. I always let them know I don't know everything about cancer, but I know how to find answers.
Very good. And I'm sure, when someone, and I've participated in some of the Relay for Life programs, and that's a very, I guess, challenging time, or I guess it could be a very sorrowful time. So to have someone that has the, the resources and help the person to navigate their way through those ordeal, traumatic time, I'm sure is just very rewarding to not only you, but to that individual as well. And Lynn, I think you also, you don't mind sharing?
I don't mind at all.
Okay.
I do like to tell the story because awareness is the best thing in letting everybody know. And I was not as lucky to have a person like Wanda. I had to go on the internet and look things up. My doctor would tell me to quit looking on the internet because it's better to talk to people. So I did find some friends that were able to help me through by telling me about their experiences, and there were a lot of things that we had in common, and so it did help. So I know that Wanda, a job like this is very rewarding and helpful to people like me who have been through cancer problems. I had breast cancer 6 years ago, and so I am a survivor, have been for 6 years. I love it. I just tell everybody about it. Anybody that needs to talk, I'm willing to talk and share my experience with them just to help them get through their difficult time.
Absolutely. And hear you say that, I've shared the story here on the set as well. My grandmother, who is 95,
Wow.
is also a breast cancer survivor. She had a mastectomy probably about 15 years ago.
Wow.
And I'm just thanking God for that too every day.
Definitely.
And I think that leads us into what we really want to talk about here today is breast cancer awareness. And you ladies just summed it up so beautifully why you all are involved with breast cancer awareness, because of the fact that it touches so many lives. I think not only in this community, but in communities around our community, or this city and country, as a matter of fact. Now, let me just ask that question. Is that the reason why you both are involved with it? Breast cancer awareness.
Well, I think we both would agree that once you go through an experience like that, you don't always ask why me, but it's what am I supposed to do with this?
Right.
And as breast cancer survivors, our goal and mission is to try to help educate women. And Lynn and I and the other members of Breast Friends for Life are very passionate about trying to not only support women when they're diagnosed, but trying to encourage women to get themselves taken care of. A lot of the money that we raise and a lot of our efforts are spent in trying to make sure there is no woman out there that needs a mammogram that can't get it, because that early detection is what has saved our lives, and we feel very strongly about the ability to get mammograms for women who can't get them otherwise, to make sure they're getting their exams done and that they're educated on the importance of taking care of their own health.
Mm-hmm. And that is so important. And I know that you mentioned mammograms, and I know that there are tests that women can perform, and men. We don't want to exclude
That's
men.
right.
Yes, exactly.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
There's tests that they can do on themselves to just kind of get those, I guess, indicators that may be there that might give them some idea that they may need to go to a physician to get further treatment there. Talk a little bit about some of those treatments or just tests. Generic tests that they can do, Wanda?
Well, the first thing is, being familiar with your own body, checking your breasts, men and women, every month is a good idea. You're not out on a seek and destroy mission to find a cancer necessarily, because most of the time you're not, but what you're trying to do is trying to be very familiar and comfortable with your own body and understand when there are changes that occur that need to be looked into. That is something we all can do on a regular basis by not only looking in the mirror but using our fingers to do a 3-point massage, a gentle massage and then deeper to try to feel for any abnormalities. I always tell people, if you feel something on one side of the breast, check in that same position on the other breast. If it's there too, that's probably normal breast tissue. But it's when we find things that weren't there before, or we don't, we didn't notice them or we didn't see them, a change in the contour of the breast or a discharge from the nipple, or again, feeling any abnormalities. Those are all things that need to be reported. But besides doing that yourself, it's very important every year you see your primary care provider to get a good exam. That validates to you that what you're feeling is normal, and when there's an abnormality, it can be felt. And then the third part of that is, particularly for women, is to get the mammogram every year. After the age of 40, it's recommended that every woman get that every year. Mm-hmm. And I'm a prime example. I did that all the years from right before I turned 40 all the way through my 40s. And one year there was something that was shown that wasn't felt by me, and if I didn't get that exam that year, I don't think I'd be here to tell the story. Or at least my health would not be in as good a shape as it is now, because truly it's that early detection that is our best protection against breast cancer. I hear women who say they're scared to go get the exams done because they're scared of the findings. That scares me when women say that, because it shouldn't be the fear of what we're going to find, but the fear that we don't find it early enough to do something about it. Lynn and I both are prime examples that when you find a problem early, there can be a good outcome.
Absolutely.
And it's so coincidental that I was the same way. Mm-hmm. I had at 40, you're told to start your mammograms, and for a woman, and I did that as well. And I was turning 50, and I'm telling my age now.
But you started young, though. Remember that, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, me. That's okay. So, at 50, I was diagnosed with the cancer, and it was not anything that I felt. I had been to the doctor every year. I had had mammograms every year, and the picture, the x-ray of the mammogram showed a difference. Had that not showed up, I may not be here either. It is a touchy situation that it is not just a bump that you'll feel or abnormal look at all. Mine, the x-ray was shinier. I had calcifications, and they look like stars, and the stars were brighter. well, that was a bad sign. They were telling the doctor something, or me,
Right.
and so it helped to have had that mammogram.
Absolutely.
And they had them to compare with. I had been doing them for 10 years, so they had 10 to look at to see that difference.
That's right. And you ladies both sum it up so well. To have that early detection
Right.
gives you an opportunity to navigate, for a better lack of words there, to navigate how you're going to address the situation, and then to have those support groups. I know that you both belong to support groups that touch and impact lives of ladies and men that have been faced with situations like this. And we want to move into some other things that you ladies are doing, and how you're continuing to impact lives of individuals. We're going to get ready to take a short commercial break in a moment, and then we're going to come back because we want to talk about this beautiful item that we have laying here, and we also want to talk about some other events that you all have coming up. For Breast Friends of Life, Breast Friends for Life, that's a mouthful. And then we also want to talk about some things that are going on at the hospital that are helping people that have gone through ordeals such as this. So if you ladies will give us an opportunity, let's take a short commercial break. We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about this, okay?
Okay.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We'll be back for more City Week in just a moment. Welcome back to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. I have on Lynn Howard and also Wanda Lau, and we're talking about Breast Friends for Life and also breast cancer awareness. And ladies, when we left before the break, we were talking a little bit about the various types, and I know that both you all talked about the type of cancer that you all had. Let's just talk about some of the, I guess, the healthcare preventative methods, and for women that feel like they may not have the adequate insurance coverage, how can that be addressed, Wanda?
Well, there are several programs that help women. If you are a woman between the ages of 40 and I can't remember the cutoff age, but when you're not yet at the Medicare age and you need a mammogram and you're income eligible, you can get that service through the health department, the public health department. And it's called Breast Test and More. It's for breast cancer and cervical cancer. I mean, it's for the screenings to try to detect those two cancers. If women in the state of Georgia get diagnosed with breast cancer and cervical cancer and they're uninsured and need assistance, they fall into a program called Women's Medicaid that pays for their treatment. So people shouldn't be scared to go get tested because they don't have any insurance to pay for any problems. We also have programs in the state of Georgia for other cancers when people are eligible called the state aid program, and West Georgia Health participates in that. It pays for people's treatments for various cancers when they have issues of unemployment or they don't have insurance, or they have needs and if they fall into a certain income bracket, they can be served that way. The other program we have is the West Central Georgia Cancer Coalition, which is part of what West Georgia Health's a part of that, and we have some funding that our Hope for a Day Walk contributed money towards that program, because with the coalition we also can pick up women who fall out of that crack and need some services. There are sometimes younger women who don't qualify for that, but they have a problem that needs to be checked out, and the coalition can be sure those women get a mammogram. If they needed a biopsy, we get a biopsy for them. If that biopsy is positive, well, then they get into the Women's Medicaid program, and if it's not, then we have served them and we've taken care of them, and they've got peace of mind that the problem they had was not a cancer. So there are a variety of ways, and Breast Friends too are committed to supporting these organizations and making sure that any woman that needs any assistance, we're going to make sure that they get helped. That's what we're all about.
I was about to say, there was a number of services that you just mentioned there that are available for women. So basically what you're telling me, that no woman or man, I guess,
right,
if they feel like they need to have things checked out, there's services that are available in this community that will address those needs pretty much. Again, my name is Wanda Lau. I'm at West Georgia Health. If you just call and ask for me, I will do all I can to get you, some help. Okay, very good.
That's part of my
Very good. And I sincerely believe that too. Let's talk a little bit now. I know that recently you ladies participated in Paint the Town Pink. Talk about that a little bit for us, Lynn, and then we'll move on to this beautiful garment that we have laying here.
Yes, I participated in the first Paint the Town Pink as a bystander. I just came by to the square the first year that I had cancer and wanted to see. It was just overwhelming to see these ladies on the square. And as soon as I was able to dry up my tears from joy of knowing that other people were going through the same thing I had gone through, I wanted to join. And so that's when I met Wanda, and I've been with them for 7 years now. Good friends, as well as good working together relationship on breast cancer awareness.
You know, it's so important. I think that a number of friendships and close friendships have been established through the Breast Friends for Life, the Relay for Life, the Paint the Town Pink, all of these things that are out there that help people that are, again, that are dealing with whatever type cancer it is that they're going through. And Wanda, you've been participating there for how long with the...
Well, I was at that first one.
The first one?
We sort of worked with some ladies from Milliken to come up with that concept, and when we did it, it was so successful, and it was shortly after that that we all came together as a support group and called ourselves Breast Friends for Life, and continued to grow because we had a lot of community support. Every year it has gotten bigger, and we've gotten more people in the community, such as people like Pam Herndon, who helped to organize the first Hope for a Day walk, and we this past year had our second Hope for a Day walk, and that event in its second year is, we think, netted about $90,000. And most of that money is going to be used right here. We do give a donation to Susan G. Komen Foundation for the continuation of breast cancer research. But other than that, we donate money to the Troup County Relay for Life, to Breast Friends for the work that we do with helping women. We give money to the we gave money to the Junior Service League, that they use their money in turn to come back to the hospital and buy some books for women and their partners to use whenever they're diagnosed with breast cancer, and to do some work with the resource room for us. We also gave money with that Hope Walk to the coalition to continue to be able to give mammograms and exams, and this year at our Paint the Town event, we brought the mobile care unit up there, and about 33 women got a chance to get a free clinical exam, and then any woman who needed to get a mammogram and couldn't get it otherwise were given a voucher to get a free mammogram at our Women's Health Center at the Medical Center.
And to include men,
yes,
our speaker at Paint the Town Pink was a man. The sheriff at Harris County.
No, he was over in Alabama. And I think Chambers County are one of the counties there. And
very good.
He came and spoke.
I know that the viewing audience is wondering about this beautiful garment that we have laying here. Let's talk about that a little bit, because I know that somebody's going to get an opportunity to win this, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about what we have here and who are the, I guess, the inventors of it, if you want to call it that. Talk about that for us, Wanda.
Well, actually, I'm going to let Lynn tell about the ladies that made this, because they're very much connected.
They're part of Troup County Parks and Rec. They actually attend the Active Life on Raglan Street. Dan Wooten called and said that he had some good news for me, and I said, what? And the ladies, they're part of the Golden So-and-Sos. They had a quilt to donate to Breast Friends for Life, and I had no idea what it looked like. He did hint that it was pink, so I told Wanda, and we went over to view it, pick it up. They shared their story of they wanted to do something for Breast Friends for Life, and so they made it with pink ribbons all over it. Handprints are on it. It was a funny day that day. We were getting ready for Paint the Town Pink, and Wanda and I were going to the square, to the art museum, and we painted our hands pink and put our handprints on the wall at the museum. When we went to pick up this quilt, we noticed that it actually has handprints on it, and that it just all tied in so together, knowing that the ladies at the square, at the Active Life, were doing something that would connect with what we were doing on the square, and it was just perfect. So we will have a raffle. We to let a good chance of a person winning this, hopefully someone that loves pink.
That's right. So if they don't, they will.
That's right. That's right.
Talk about how can a person get a raffle ticket to win this, Blanca?
I believe I've sold all mine, so
well, I still have some more to sell.
Yeah, there we go.
There are several of the breast friends in town that are selling it, but if you wanted to come, you know, and find a ticket very easily, we have some at the radiation therapy department at West Georgia Health in the Enoch Callaway Cancer Clinic. Just drive around to the back and come in the back door and go to the radiation department, and our administrative assistant Danielle Chase has we usually have the quilt on display. You can open it up and look at it, and she has tickets there for people to buy. They're $1 a chance, and last year the So-and-So's also donated a quilt, and we were able to raise $1,000 with that, and that money was used again in the community to donate to the Troup County Relay for Life, which we both have been part of. Lynn has been very active part of the relay efforts.
I'm now the chair, co-chair for the Troup County Relay for Life 2012. I have done that for a couple of years now. It is very meaningful to me to help others with other types of cancer. Awareness for everything is good, not just breast cancer.
That's right.
So we raffled off our first quilt and used, we raised $3,000 and used that for our team, for Breast Friends for Life, to participate with Troup County Relay for Life and combine, be together. Two causes, I guess.
There you go. Absolutely.
The winner of last year's was Darlene Franks. She was very lucky. She's very happy.
Absolutely, I'm sure.
And so this year we will be raffling off this and have our drawing on November the 28th.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Before we go, I want to make sure that the ladies
Yes.
that designed and were responsible for making the quilt, let's mention those ladies before we move on, because there's a couple of things we want to talk about before we time's up.
I did had to write them down, so I won't leave anybody off. But the ones in our picture, Novus Maxwell, Jenny Walker, Dot Lott, Ellen Spence, Addie Bailey, Lee Weatherford, Carolyn Johnson, Mary Shelnut, Ethel Shelnut, Marilyn Allen, and Frances Bird. So we took a picture and printed it up so that when we would sell our tickets, we could show people what the quilt was looking like, because we did leave it at the hospital for display. But we thank these ladies, and there may be others that are in the quilt group, the golden so-and-sos. Yes, but these were there that day to present the quilt to us.
Very good. Now I want to talk a little bit, because we're going to run out of time. There's a holiday dinner that's coming up. Want to talk to us about that?
Our Breast Friends for Life support group, along with the West Georgia Cancer Support Group, which is for all cancers, we are having a joint holiday meal. It's a potluck dinner on Monday, November the 28th at 6 o'clock at the Enoch Callaway Cancer Clinic in the auditorium. And we have a really good time, you know, at that event. We just celebrate together the holidays and, you know, survivorship, and that's the night that we're going to actually draw for the quilt. So we'll be selling tickets up till we pull it out of the hat to see who wins that night. But anybody who's a cancer survivor is invited to come. You know, everybody brings a potluck meal, and the hospital will provide meats and drinks for the group. So we'd love to have people join who maybe otherwise haven't been coming to our group, but this would be a good time to come together. And, you know, we have a lot of opportunities for survivors to do things together and to sort of work through some of their issues, like our art project. We have art therapy classes going on now, and we will have this Thursday evening at 5:30. We have Chris Hagenbach is going to give his time and show people how to do some watercolor work, and that's open for anyone in their family that is going through cancer experience or has been through cancer. And you know, we did the torso project for Paint the Town Pink. We've got some of those torsos in the South Tower on display. If anybody missed the exhibit, want to come by the hospital and just see a sampling of what we had. That was a very meaningful project that we did with our art therapy.
Well, ladies, I want to thank you all so much. You know, we can sit here and we could talk all day.
We could.
Well, ladies, my time is gone for this show, but I want to thank you all so very much for coming on and sharing this beautiful blanket with us, and hopefully everybody will get out and buy a ticket. It's only $1. Raffle will be held on November the 28th out at the Enoch Cancer Clinic, and the potluck dinner will be held there as well, correct?
That's right.
Ladies, thank you so very much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're back for more City Week in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed this week's interviews. My guests have been from the West Georgia Health System, Wanda Lau, and also from the Troup County Parks and Recreation, Lynn Howard, as they talked about the Breast Friends for Life. And also they talked about how you can win that beautiful blanket that you saw laying here just a moment ago for just $1. The raffle will be held on November the 28th. So go out and buy a ticket today and help support Breast Friends for Life. Ladies and gentlemen, hope that you've enjoyed the ladies as much as I have. And as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.